This is Out Loud and Laughing. Welcome back to Out Loud and Laughing. We are so excited to be here with our chosen fam for a very special and very spicy Valentine's Day episode. You know, Brian and I usually get each other chocolates, but this year I think we decided to just bring in a professional.
Get some
Exactly. Why
caramel.
why keep it between two people when you can make it a party? And who better to help us celebrate the season of love and self-love than a man who's been part of the journey before? He's a singer, songwriter, and a star who keeps on giving. Welcome back to the show, David Hernandez.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk with you too, truly.
We have missed you. It's been a minute since we've been able to connect. So what's been good? The last time we followed up with you, you were sharing the new Feel It All and
Yeah.
the journey. So how's that been going?
Feel It All went really, really well. It was received really well. I was nervous about releasing it, but then as most things in life, your biggest fears never come true, but some of your dreams do. And that's what happened for me with Feel It All. I felt like it was such a love letter to myself that ended up resonating with so many different people. It's all independently produced and financed. So to see the video climb up to like 200,000 views was like really, really cool. And then to hear like some of like the fans like, testimonials or like to see like their messages about connecting to it was just I was phenomenal. Even now, like some people are still stumbling upon it. And for me, it's like it was so last year, you know? But then when people are like, "Hey, I just watched your video," and I'm like, "You just watched the video? What do you mean?" And they're like, "Yeah, I just somebody just showed it to me." And I'm like, "Oh, cool." You know, people are like discovering it for the first time. So that's the beauty of the internet, and also the curse is that it lives forever. So
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, I loved it. I've shared it with a lot of my friends who both follow sobriety and are not follow sobriety. It's just a great song. Um, but let's focus on today because it's Valentine's Day, and you're bringing us something that feels a little bit more like a full circle moment. So you're
yeah,
celebrating now the 10th anniversary of your anthem, "Beautiful,"
yeah.
with the release of "Beautiful 2.0 today. So can you tell us? Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so Beautiful changed my life in 2016. The song was actually presented to me by my booking agent, and I, at that point, had only written my own music. So when he presented this song to me, I was like, "Nah, I didn't write it. I'm good." And I kind of slept on it for like a few months. And then he finally was like, "Hey, David, like this is a great song, and they're wondering if you want to record it." And I was like, "Oh, okay, fine." So I went in the studio, and it's just a perfect example of like when you just like turn it over, you know, when you're just like, okay, fine, like let me just relinquish control because everything I've been doing up until this point hasn't been like the best. So I decided to like follow someone else's lead, like follow a song that I didn't write, but maybe it's like a hit, you know, maybe it's like going to be the song that like saves me. I don't know. And it being just that, like it's still to date like the biggest song of my career. It resonated so much with people, and I think just like what we did with the video treatment was just so raw and like different walks of life in it, and like we we express like just our authentic selves in it, and that was like a in 2016, like that was kind of a new thing for me too. Like I had publicly just like uh I had came out at the same time this song was dropped, so like it was a lot of firsts for me, like first time singing a song I didn't write, like first time coming out publicly, even though like anyone who knew me like clearly knew I was gay, but it was like the first time I introduced myself to the world as like this like queer gay man. So it was just really important, and like I think it wasn't till later, like in retrospect, I realized like just what that song did for me, and like to be able to still sing it and people know it like 10 years later is just such a like a miracle, honestly. Like you can't like plan this kind of thing, right? Like there's no like rhyme or reason why like certain songs work and certain songs don't. I think like there's obviously like machines behind a lot of the major artists and stuff like that, but this wasn't that. Like this was just very like, okay, I'm just gonna see what happens. It was my first music video that I ever shot in my entire life too, which was another first. I don't know. It was just like it was just so cool to have that happen. And then like last year, one of my friends was like, "Do you realize like it'll be 10 years next year that like Beautiful?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I gotta do something. Like I don't know, like I don't know, maybe I'll just like fucking re-release it." And you know how they always say like remastered version or something. I was like, "No, I don't want to like use the same song. Like I don't want to just recut the vocals and that be it." Like I sang this song for a decade, so I'm like, sometimes I'm just like tired of hearing the same version of it. And I'm sure other people are too, and they want to hear like what else can you do?
Mhm.
And so I thought about like an acoustic version, and I was like, no, I think it would be really cool to like put it on like steroids and like have it reimagined by like an entirely new producer and feature an artist on it who like aligns with like my life's message of inclusivity, who's also part of the queer community, who's also an activist, who's also a trans woman, who's also, you know what I mean? Like all these, and I was like, this is fucking perfect. Like, so I reached out and I was like, I don't know what she's gonna say. Like we were roommates like 10 years ago, you know? And I reached out and I was like, hey Mila, what are your thoughts? And she was like, yeah. I was like, do you want to elaborate on that? I was looking, I don't know, like she's very to the point. I love that about her. She was like, yeah, sounds great. Like, let me know the details. And so it's like, all right, cool. So then I was put in touch with this producer, Nico the Kid. He sent me a couple iterations of what he thought the song could sound like. And I was just on board with it from the jump. Like it was just like he took everything I loved about the song, but then like added to it, you know? So we still have like the soul of it, melodically, lyrically, but we just kind of like created something different with a different feel, a different sonic value that I think is sort of more relevant to 2026 and infused like he's a young up and coming producer who's done a lot of work with like Akon, Miley Cyrus, some remixes for a bunch of different like people some of your favorites. And so to have him touch this record was like that was just really cool for me. Like I didn't know, like even this far into my career, like I still don't know like what people are gonna say yes and who's gonna say no. So I was just really, really lucky that like he agreed to do it and then Mila agreed to do it. Like it was just like total like kismet, like stars aligned sort of moment. And so I think what came from all that was just like this beautiful like love letter to like ourselves and to the world. And I think that that's like fucking amazing. It makes me excited.
I mean, I think having Mila is a total game changer. You mentioned it, but you guys were roommates in New York in 2015. So, like, what was it like reaching back into that history to create something that feels so much more grounded and steady than the original?
It was it was interesting because, like, I was a whole different person then. 2015, 2014 were some of the hardest years of my life in New York City. I was just starting to realize that, like, I was an alcoholic, but I couldn't, like, completely stop it. Like, I was in a terrible relationship at the time. We were always fighting and, like, moving in and out of each other's apartment. It was just this horrible. It's like you don't realize it in the moment because it's so painful, but it's sort of like laying sort of the groundwork for who you're going to become depending on how you handle it. And you learn a lot of strength in those moments. And so coming back to like this song as a sober man, as a man who's like grown into himself so much and like really learned to let go of things, like it was just an entirely different experience, honestly. And it was such a full circle moment for me. And then to like incorporate somebody from my past who only ever had a positive experience during the hardest time of my life was just like it was just like godsend, like it felt like, and she probably listening to this interview, she's gonna be like, I had no idea that you were fully like, rock bottom, in New York City. But that city was hard as it was. And then you throw in like addictions and self-worth issues. I mean, you're fucked. So
Yeah.
so to come back to somebody who, and by the way, like we saw each other at like very different points in our, I mean, Mila is a whole different person than she was 10 years ago too. Like the things that she's done and accomplished are like fucking mind blowing. Like she's such an activist. She's such at the forefront of the queer community and the trans community. Like she is unapologetically vocal about her political stance. Like she is an advocate for the underdog. Like she is just like, bam, you know what I mean? It's one of the things I admire about her, if not the most. Like, so to see all that, like to know that we were both like hustling, in New York City at a time, it was fucking freezing in the dead of winter. And then to be like, hey, do you want to be a part of like this song that at the time nobody would have known that I was like dying, but like now we're in a different place and like, do you want to be a part of that? And she was like, yeah. So it was like, it was cool.
What has so you re-recorded the song a
Yeah.
decade later, which, you've it's been a part of you, right? You know the lyrics, you've experienced it. How is it different this time for you? Like having gone through this self-love journey, having found yourself, your voice, your sobriety, like how did it change when you were in studio this round?
I think it changed for me because there's been a lot of life lived in 10 years, and I think at the time I was really, really still looking for, like, validation through, like, self-love, like, almost like, "Here I am, and, like, I know that I'm beautiful," but, like, did I know? Like, did I really know those things? You know what I mean? And sometimes it's better to, like, act as if, like, as if you are, because then you'll become. But, like, it was cool to be in the studio recording those same lyrics and have a completely different relationship to the song now. Like, as much as I still am somewhat of a people pleaser, like, I don't really need the opinion of 10 or 15 people or even 5 people to make a decision these days. Like, I trust myself a lot more. I still have like my second guessing and stuff like that, but usually it's a conversation I can have with myself and I can come to a sound decision. Just takes a little bit of time. But when I say like beautiful, baby, you're beautiful, like I think I really do mean that. Like I do, it's so interesting, like being on this journey, and I know I keep talking about sobriety, but it's very much a part of my life because
Same.
and like the most beautiful part is getting in touch with the younger versions of myself again.
Hmm.
It's like I can't even like when people ask me like what's the best part of being sober, like it's hard for me to put into words that feeling of recognizing myself again. It's it's so hard to put that into words. I don't even know if people comprehend what I mean when I say that, but like I'll catch like glimpses of myself like where I'm thinking a certain thing and I'm like, "Oh my god, that's totally what 15-year-old David would have thought." And I'm like, "Oh, hey
Mm.
buddy, welcome back." I see you. Or like even like that little 6-year-old kid that like loved musical theater, like I don't know, like, there's these moments in the mirror, and I know this is gonna sound narcissistic to somebody where I'm just like, "Fuck, I love you." Like, I glad you're back, kid, Like, things like that, and I think Beautiful has been that for me this time around, and I know it's been that for other people since 2016. I just didn't have that experience with it then, but for other people, that's been the experience since I released it, which is so powerful. So now I think I'm finally catching up to my own message almost in a way, Like, I'm finally starting to believe the shit that I was actually saying.
Takes a minute.
It takes a minute, especially when you're, like, the conduit or the vessel saying it. Sometimes, like, you're acting as if, And for me, I think, like, 2016 was one of the most challenging years of my life. I mean, really, that whole, like, 2014 to 2016 was just like, "What are you doing? Oh my god." Like, holy shit, like, the relationship. I mean, just the drama, you know what I mean? Like, like, people are like, "That's a part of growing up," and I'm like, "Is it though? Like, did it have to be that hard?" But I guess it did, But
Yeah.
I don't know, Beautiful is just so beautiful this time. It's great.
I mean, can you take us back to 2016 a little bit to your headspace? Because it sounds like that was a little bit of a hard time. Like, you're on camera, you're in 2016. This is a new song. Like, what were you feeling in that moment?
It was like my first time releasing anything that really, like, slapped with the public, aside from American Idol, right? So, like, it was, like, 8 years after Idol, and I hadn't really experienced that level of, like, notoriety or fame until Beautiful, like, hit, and it just, like, flipped everything upside down for me again. And if, like, your ground's already shaky, you're this sort of thing is, like, gonna shake you even more. So I felt a little disoriented. I felt like almost like more paranoid to make the next step because like that was going so well that I like what was going to follow that. It's like this insatiable high that you keep chasing. And so it felt like a lot of bit of pressure. What's next? I went on the tour immediately. Like I've never been so booked in my life. I was doing shows every single weekend from like here to Canada to Spain to Australia. Like I was doing all these prides. Like I was like the pride king for like 4 years,
It's awesome.
or a couple years or whatever it was. But
Mhm.
um, yeah, it felt like a whirlwind. And then on top of that, I had this like person I was like really really in love with, but we were both like drinking a lot and like we just weren't compatible. And now we're like really good friends and he's also sober. But I don't know, it just felt just like a bad combination of like it felt like a bad combination of like a lot of things, like just like substance abuse, like self-worth, like fame, you know, being in the public eye. So like it wasn't and like don't get me wrong, like there was a lot of beautiful parts about it too. Like I'm so appreciative that that even happened. But I think again, like when you don't have like stable ground and these things happen, like you just feel like I don't know, you just feel off kilter, you know, you just feel like you know, what do I need? Let me get this doesn't feel good, so let me get the cheap dopamine, you know, let me get the
Yeah.
stuff that makes me, you know, sex, drugs, alcohol, like let me just get all that because like if people found out the real me and what I was really going through, they wouldn't like me anymore, you know? Crazy. Crazy layers to shit. I don't know.
It's crazy,
Crazy.
crazy layers, but understanding them, I think, helps us function more. It helps us to continue to create more art.
Yeah.
You mentioned that in 2016, you felt like you needed protection on camera. But for this iteration of the music video, this 2.0 with Johnny Day, you wanted to be fully seen, right? So bring on the
Yeah.
sequins, the disco balls and all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
For everybody listening, our chosen fam out there who are still finding their confidence, I think it's really helpful if you could share what was the mental shift that allowed you to go from surviving to now shining?
Mm. I
Mhm.
I think it's you know, the outfits and stuff was actually just a combination of Mila sending me her stuff and, like, I mean, I was inspired a lot by her. She sent me all of her outfits and, like, obviously, like, she has a way bigger wardrobe than I have. So I was like, "Well, let me see what I got in my closet." And between me and my stylist, of what I could do to match what she has. And Mila, if you know Mila, Mila is Mila. Like, this is me, like it or not, like, I'm gonna be here, you know? And so I took note, you know, and I was like, yeah, same. Like I want to be that too, you know, like I am that. Like you know, I think in 2016 I was like waiting for permission to like be who I was and like even like I love the videos so much, but like even that day, like I remember being so insecure about hair and makeup. And I had this one gray shirt that took me forever to find. And that shirt was like $500. It was like a fucking t-shirt that was $500. I remember showing up to set and being like, I felt so small. I felt so insecure. It's my first video. And I was just like, oh my God, I hate the way I look on camera. I was just second guessing myself in every way, you know? But
Yeah.
how could I not? Coming where I come from, like, how could I not believe all these negative things about myself, you know? And I hadn't done the work to like unpack that shit and yeah, and like change my perspective about who I was. So like coming back into this time, I just wanted it to be a whole like script flip from like what it was before. Like, yeah, we still love each other. Yeah, we're still beautiful, but like we're fucking fabulous too. And we've been around the world and yeah. And we've seen all the things and we've shown up and we've thrown our fists in the air. We've been gay. You know, we've been people of color. We've been all the things we've seen so much. Like we are unapologetic in the way we deliver this visual, you know? And we tried different things too. That disco ball you see in there, like I cut my hands on it. I didn't realize those things were actually like sharp. I remember throwing it at Mila, like she would catch it and she would throw it back at me. And the last time she threw it black, my hand was just bleeding. And I was wearing the white outfit and it was bleeding all over my pants. So we had to scrub the pants in between takes and I had to switch my tank top. And I didn't even feel it because when I'm in work mode, I forget. My
Yeah.
adrenaline's going. I had blood
Hmm.
all over me, and I was like, "Well, isn't this just beautiful?" But it was, but I mean, to answer your question, like I think it's just a thing that takes time and evolution to go from that to this. You know, just takes time. Like sometimes it just takes time.
It takes time. I love that. Well, let's pivot a little bit because since it is Valentine's Day, David, I feel like you've reframed the holiday as a celebration of self love and chosen family, right?
I
So
love
give us
that.
the tea though. What does Valentine's Day look like for David these days? Are we talking like romantic dinner or are we just talking about like a face mask?
I mean, I've never wanted to turn down a good romantic dinner. Like I love a good dinner. I love to be pampered and spoiled. You know. Um, But I also love a face mask, and I love being in bed by 9 PM and watching, like, a murder doc. Like, that sounds like a sweet Valentine's Day to me too. I mean, honestly, like, for me, Valentine's Day I've been with my partner for 9 years now, so it doesn't take a holiday to show appreciation for each other, but I'm he knows this about me. Like I'm such an emotionally reflective person. Like I love to look back and like see, oh my God, like look how far we come and look what we've done. Sometimes like just being alone and the silence is enough. Like we don't need like the hoopla and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
I don't know. With that said though, we might have a nice fancy dinner. We might I don't know. That's between me and my man. Okay.
Okay, stay out of my DMs, he
I mean,
said.
come on. No, but I mean,
Y
it's but Valentine's Day, I love Valentine's Day because you get all the chocolate and the treats and stuff. It's like an excuse to just get all that fucking candy. It's amazing.
Mhm.
Love the candy. I love the sentiment. I mean, I don't look good in red, so the color is like just a wash for me that day anyway. But I mean, clearly you're just staining your clothes red with blood and all of the great things.
I bet you look
But
great in red,
I actually look good
especially like
in.
a red thong or a red jock strap.
See?
Oh, well, save that for the mixtape.
I'm just
David,
saying.
I'm gonna drop that remix. David,
Ew.
been around the world tonight. That thong will be around the world in a night. That's the truth. But David, I just adore you. I adore your vulnerability. I adore your honesty. I adore your hard work ethic, your creativity, your voice, all the things you bring to us. But we can't let you go without playing a game. So if you remember the last time you were here, we did a lightning round, but this is season 3, and we now have a this or that round that we're calling it. And for you today, we're doing a special this or that 2.0, the beautiful Valentine's David H edition. So we've got rapid fire questions. We're going to see what really gets your heart racing. No overthinking, just the first thing that comes to mind. You cool?
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
It's time for another round of this or that, the unhinged get to know you game.
Yeah, I'll give you the layup. This one's easy. Okay. Chocolate covered strawberries or roses?
Chocolate covered strawberries.
Mm, so good.
Yeah.
Um, Silk sheets or flannel PJs?
Oh, flannel PJs. Flannel PJs.
Surprising.
Surprising.
I
Silk
thought
sheets are
I,
hot.
I thought you were going to
That
say
gives a
silk.
hot. No, flannel PJs. Silk is hot. No. Yeah, no, flannel.
cozier.
Breeze a little bit. Yeah.
All right. Are we pitching or catching in the game?
These days pitching.
Mm-hmm. Love
Yeah,
a good sport.
It's a great sport. Yeah, lots of activity keeps the heart going.
it sure
Are
does.
you wearing boxers with little hearts on them or briefs with little kisses on them?
Probably briefs with little kisses on them. If I'm wearing boxers or briefs at all, I kind of like to free ball it most of the time. So
Yeah,
Fair
just,
I'm
enough.
just
with
where
you.
it's
Saves
at.
on laundry too.
It
Uh,
does.
do we like a hairy chest or some smooth skin?
Oh man. I like I like a good like trimmed hairy chest. I'm into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like a little fur. I'm into men. That's what I like to say.
Nothing too bushwhacked, but like let's
Well,
you know a little bit of
We're not
hair.
12. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
True.
it's Valentine's Day. You already yelled at us for asking you what you were gonna do, but um, when it comes to sex, David, are you guys just going straight to business, or is there gonna be like a long, shown out foreplay for the evening?
I mean, that's it just depends on the how much time we got, you know?
That's true.
It's the truth.
Most of the time these days, because we're super busy, it's just like straight to Pound Town, you know?
Yeah,
Right.
get
Let's
it
just
Yeah.
in.
get it in and we'll kiss after or something, you know?
Get it in. Kiss you
You know,
later.
but if it's Valentine's Day, we might have to, you know, have a little
Make
moment. I
make
don't
it
know why I
Strike a
just
special.
box.
patted my fake weave. I don't know why I just did that. I was like, I don't know why I did that.
Because your inner Mila is coming out, I
My
think.
inner Mila is coming out. I can't. But yeah,
So
no,
good.
yeah, it just depends. It depends.
If you're gonna get adventurous, do you want wax or whipped cream?
Whipped cream, wax. Oh, because you're talking about like hot wax. No, I'm not really into
Yes.
pain. I'm whipped cream. Whipped cream. I want things to feel good. I
A
have
little
enough
sweet.
pain in my life.
This love ain't gonna break itself, right? Um, um,
Exactly.
are we gonna go for the sweet smells of your favorite cologne, or are you sort of into the all natural pheromone?
Sweet smells of cologne. I'm definitely not into the all natural pheromone. Just not, no. I need it to
What's your
smell nice.
What's your favorite scent? What are you wearing these days?
Well, you're not even gonna know this one, but it's a, called Ron Dorf, Dorff, and it's a Paris boutique brand that's obviously based out of Paris, but there's this store here right next to my house on Sunset, and they have the most incredible cologne, and it's only sold at the store. So it's like a rarity, and it smells the best. I've never gotten more compliments on it. Ron Dorf, Rondorff. I should get an endorsement deal.
You should. I also thought you were going to say like Cool Water or something, old school.
David
Cool
off.
water? What am I, like 15?
Curve.
Right. Armani. Or wait,
Yeah.
Armani's kind of a good one. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, David, thank you for being such a good sport and sharing your heart with us again. Everyone, a Beautiful 2.0 drops February 14th on all platforms. So everyone should go stream it.
We love you, David. And to our chosen fam out there, remember to stand in your power and love yourself first. Follow the great advice of David. Thank you for all of the blood, sweat, and tears, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Thanks,
Love
David.
ya.
This was Out Loud and Laughing.
We're available everywhere you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple, YouTube, iHeart, or wherever.